geology. That's sort of my background, and I spent most of my time as mineralogist. I've always had this interest in trading, and I realized when I was at university already, I realized that trading is something I should have done and become a trader at that time. And I think I probably did my first trades at university, but I gravitated towards that more and more through time and to the point I am today. I think everyone probably goes through a similar journey to get there. And I just wish they wouldn't have to have it so hard to get to that point, because I think I've tried everything to get to this point today. And that's been a long journey from buying my first couple of shares when I was at first year university. I then started to try and learn a bit more about how do I become a trader. The journey included really just reading as much as you can, but then I also thought, all right, I get more qualifications. That's definitely going to help me. So I did some BCom courses. I handpicked them and tried to find which courses I think would help me with trading. I did the stockbroking exams, and none of those things ever got me any closer to being a good trader. I kept trying different systems, and whoever had a good system and traded for a while until I went into drawdown, couldn't put up with the pain anymore, and then switched to something else. And I did that for many, many years, and then decided none of those systems are doing me any favors. And a lot of them, some were mechanical, others were just newsletters and that type of thing. Eventually, I decided to try and develop my own systems, and spent many years trying to do that, and spent a lot of money and a lot of years, and probably developed 8 to 10 different systems, of which not trading any of them today. When I stumbled upon the systems that you offered, I still had systems that I developed, but I didn't trust my systems as much as I trusted your systems. Now, because of the way you rigorously tested them and the simulations, etc., I realized that I trusted your systems more. And that's why I'm not using any of mine anymore. I switched to those exclusively. Well, that's true. They had an edge. I guess you have to look at the backdrop of the time when I was trying to trade these two, because what I did is it was right into the GFC, to the 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. I was trading these systems in the backdrop of that market. And that didn't help either, though. That helped chew up a lot of capital. Then later on, when I saw how you guys developed your systems and the rigorous testing that you put into it and the heaps of simulations, and then how can you not have more confidence in that? It's not just based on the one or two simulation space. You're using lots of simulations, different times, different time frames, and different starting points, and etc. Perhaps there's also the backdrop of time. If you go far enough back, then you also get the sense that you get those type of markets. Lots of reasons why people don't make it in the market, but I think one of them is trusting the system. So you have to have utmost trust in the system. The fact that you guys have a simulator. Now, for me, I like to do simulations, and I'm a bit of a researcher and scientist from that point of view. So I do a lot of that. That's given me a lot of trust, because from a probabilistic point of view, I know what to expect. So I've got an idea of what to expect. So if I do a lot of simulations, you get a sense of probability versus drawdown. So when you go into that, then it's not something that you need to be afraid of. And for me, that's what builds a lot of trust, the fact that I can do those simulations and I can get an idea of the probabilistic environment. That's a different matter, right? With a book like Mark Douglas has helped me a lot, right? And actually, funny enough, I picked that up the other day when I started doing some of your educational matter, and I had bought that book, and I thought, geez, that was a long time ago that I bought that book. So I actually picked up that book and looked in the cover, and I see someone gave me that book because I really, really wanted it, and they gave it to me as a present in 2003. In the cover, it says, they're saying, hope you love this book, and hope it makes you lots of money over time. And that was 2003. So I did go through that material, but at that time it probably need to really go over it a couple of times, and I hadn't at that point gone over it that much. But over the years, I've kind of looked at it and picked up a lot from that too. And with me, it's been a long, slow process. So if I'd done the course that you have online now, right, that would have been a fast track to getting where I am now. But you don't know that at the time, and there wasn't that type of material available. You read the book, but you weren't going to do those exercises that are necessary to get you fast track you to the point where you're peaceful and profitable. To be honest, I did the course because I wanted to know where do I fit in, what sort of echelon have I reached in terms of skill. So I thought I'd do the course and then see if I can get a sense of exactly that. It's changed the way I trade, but it's changed the confidence in knowing that I'm reasonably close, or hopefully there already in that upper echelon of trading. Not to say I'm perfect or anything like that, not to say that I probably will never make mistakes, but when I go through the questions that you are asking in that educational content, then I think in terms of the peaceful investor, I can tick most of those boxes. Certainly it's given me the confidence in knowing that I'm reasonably close to that level. I actually thought I was the only one that ever went through, had to really persevere for so long. And it was quite amazing me to find out that those are the routes that people would all go through to some extent. When I look back at the journey, I don't know how I held on for so long. I don't know why that I didn't give up at some point. I've been pretty much trading my entire life. And for me, that was amazing to see that I wasn't the only one going through that type of journey where you go through all the classic mistakes just to get to a certain point. I would definitely say that the first thing, and this personally, right, what I've done is I've basically cut out looking at financial media for listening to news, financial news, reading social media things on finance, or don't look at that at all. Or I'll look at what the stock indices are doing, but I don't listen to any of that stuff. And I would say, especially for some, if you're starting out, and that's the thing you got to cut out, because you don't want any influence, even on a subconscious level. There mustn't be any influence in what you do. If you want to shortcut it, you go straight to doing process and mindset intensive, not without doing the exercise. You need to do the actual exercise where you trade through drawdown multiple times, because that's the key. Yeah, we all look for this holy grail and we spend many years doing it. That's what I would say to someone to must really do that. I get a sense that people would probably think, oh, I don't need to do the exercise because I know what I'm doing or whatever. But yeah, they need to do it. That's the key. I would say, first of all, it's got everything to offer for me. All the tools that I need to do what I do. Not only data, of course, but data is important. You've got quality data. But the most important thing is the people behind the business, and you guys with all the knowledge and educational resources that you have and you offer, educational content. Those are important tools. And of course, you need to obviously have the software and the systems. And there's a lot of packages and systems, but not integrated with the money management and risk management systems that you guys have. That's a game changer too for me, and especially because I like leverage trading and having the money management and risk management systems. You just can't do without that. I don't know anyone else who's offering with the resources that you have. And the simulator is another one for me that is just magic, because I like to get an idea and try and work out from a probabilistic point of view what my returns would be and my drawdown, what I can expect over different time frames. And that the simulator allows me to do that. I'll continue using the systems as I've been using them. And I don't want to chop and change like I did in the years prior. And now I see that as the thing that everyone else does as well. You've got to find systems that resonate with you and that you're comfortable with. And I think I'm there now. I'm comfortable with the portfolios and the systems that I'm using to trade those. So I want to go forward with that and carry on with the benchmarking. And so I see myself ready. This is a lifelong game here that I'm just going to be doing that similar thing. And of course, moving with whatever changes that there are and improvements that you guys have made over time has been amazing. I like leverage trading. So the process of it, particularly, that's been a game changer. And I run my super in two different portfolios, and I run a couple of portfolios outside my super. And I see that continuing for the rest of my life. What it's given me is the confidence too that you can make money for the rest of your life. You do better than most other people out there in terms of what they're achieving in these funds. I'm referring to super funds and the returns that they get on those. I feel like that's such an asset to have. To learn that is just such a skill that you're going to use for the rest of your life. Definitely gives you a degree of confidence. When they say, concentrate on the process, well, thank goodness, because I actually enjoy the process so much. I'm going to go to the analogy of flying a plane. I'm not a pilot, but it was the best analogy of where you're sitting in and looking at all these metrics. How can I maximize what I'm doing and control this airplane without it dropping out of the sky? And if it starts dropping, I change the things. And the COVID was such a good example of that, because it happened that the airplane fell. We managed to control it and get back into the market after that. And when it took off, boy, it took off. And that was such a good run up after that. And that for me also showed you that you stick to it and you just keep your cool and follow the system. You just get out of it just fine. It's your identity, like you say. It's like I don't think about it. I just automatically every day, it's just like, I just do that. It's just part of it, right? It's like brushing your teeth, isn't it?